There are two BMW engines that define an entire generation. On one side, the B58, the silky smooth straight six that not only made the new Toyota Supra legendary again, but also restored faith in BMW's reliability after years of criticism. On the other, the S58, a fire-breathing, track-bred monster sitting under the hood of the M3 and M4, armed with cutting-edge tech and numbers that make rivals sweat. Both engines carry BMW's DNA, but they represent two different philosophies: daily-driven versatility versus all-out motorsport dominance. So here's the real question: which one truly deserves the crown? Today on VeHistory, we're breaking down the B58 and S58, their power, performance, reliability, and the culture they've built to uncover which engine stands as BMW's greatest modern masterpiece. Buckle up, this one's going to be good. To understand the S58, we need to start with its foundation, the B58. Launched in 2015, the B58 replaced the infamous N55, and for BMW fans, it was a sigh of relief. Why? Because the N54 and N55 before it had amazing performance. But they also carried a laundry list of nightmares: failing injectors, turbo failures, and dreaded high-pressure fuel pump issues that drained owners' wallets. The B58 was different. BMW went back to the drawing board and built something stronger, smoother, and far more durable. Specs: 3.0-liter Inline-Six single twin-scroll turbo. Factory output: approximately 335 horsepower at launch, later tuned up to 382 horsepower in newer models. Torque: 369 pound-feet. Awards: Ward's Top 10 Engines in 2020. But the real brilliance of the B58 wasn't just in the numbers, it was in its philosophy. BMW built it as a modular engine, sharing 80% of its design with the smaller four-cylinder B58. That meant cheaper parts, streamlined mass production, and most importantly, lower repair costs for owners. And here's the kicker: the B58 came stock with forged rods, a forged crank, and a crank girdle that reinforced the block. Translation: it could take punishment, sarcos, and keep going. Tuners were hitting 500 to 600 horsepower on stock internals without even breaking a sweat. For enthusiasts, this was groundbreaking. For everyday drivers, it meant something even better: a BMW Inline-Six that could finally rack up high mileage without constantly living at the repair shop. Ask any B58 owner, and they'll tell you the same thing. This engine is rock solid. Most issues, minor, like injectors, PCV systems, or coils, things you can sort out in an afternoon. The real horror stories? Those usually come from tuners pushing 700-plus horsepower on factory parts. And even then, the engine takes longer to give up than you'd expect. For the average driver, 100,000-plus miles with no major drama is completely normal. And for a modern BMW, that's almost unheard of. Culturally, the B58 became a star. It powered everything from the sporty 340i to the luxurious 540i, and even big SUVs like the X5. It gave Toyota's reborn Supra real credibility. And maybe most importantly, it restored something BMW fans thought was gone: faith that Munich could still make a reliable, tunable, straight-six worthy of the brand's heritage. The B58 wasn't just an engine, it was a statement. But then, BMW decided to take it one step further. In 2019, BMW unveiled the S58, the successor to the S55 that powered the F80 M3. And this wasn't just an upgrade. It was a clean-sheet design built to dominate both street and track. Specs: 3.0-liter Inline-Six, induction, twin mono-scroll turbos, not a single twin-scroll like the B58. Power: 473 horsepower in the standard M3/M4. Competition models: 503 horsepower, 479 pound-feet torque. But here's the twist: the S58 isn't just a juiced-up B58. In fact, over 80% of its parts are unique. BMW reworked nearly everything. Closed deck block for maximum strength. Forged pistons, rods, and crank right from the factory. 3D printed cylinder head for airflow precision. Redesigned cooling with 3 radiators, an extra cooler, and even a dedicated transmission oil cooler. Why so much cooling? Because the S58 wasn't designed just for commuting. It was built with hardcore track abuse in mind. Heat kills engines, but the S58 shrugs it off. And compared to the S55, the dreaded crank hub issue gone. Turbo lag significantly reduced. Reliability dramatically improved. The S58 isn't just powerful, it's overbuilt. Early dyno runs have shown these engines cracking 700 to 800 horsepower with simple bolt-ons, proving they're just as tuner-friendly as their predecessors. This isn't just BMW's next M engine. It's their new apex predator. Now, let's talk about what really matters. Which engine will last longer? The B58 has history on its side. It's been on the road since 2015, and owners have racked up hundreds of thousands of miles. Apart from small issues like coolant sensors or injectors, it's proven itself as one of BMW's most reliable modern engines, a big deal for a brand sometimes criticized for complexity. The S58 is newer. It launched in 2019, so we don't have the same long-term data yet. But on paper, it looks extremely promising. Upgraded cooling, forged internals, a stronger closed deck block. It's built like a tank. The one caveat: twin turbos. 2 turbos mean 2 potential failure points. That doesn't make the S58 unreliable, but in a direct comparison, the single-turbo B58 is inherently simpler. And in the world of longevity, sometimes simpler wins. Here's where enthusiasts really lean forward. B58. On stock internals, it's safe around 500 to 600 horsepower. With the right upgrades, people are already pushing past 700 and still driving them daily. It's smooth, torquey, efficient, and gives you usable power across the whole rev range. S58 starts life already flexing. Over 500 horsepower stock. Tuners are pushing it to 700 to 800 with just bolt-ons, and the block still has room to grow. Thanks to its beefed-up design, it's clearly the higher-ceiling engine for pure horsepower hunters. Driving feel. The B58 is refined, silky, and balanced, perfect for someone who wants daily drivability but with a wild side waiting to be unleashed. The S58 is raw, aggressive, and unapologetic. It's violent in a good way, more track-focused, more engaging but less subtle. It's the difference between a smooth operator and a caged animal begging to be unleashed. Now let's talk numbers, because not everyone has an unlimited budget. Cars with the B58, like the 340i, Supra, or 540i, are significantly more affordable, both to buy and maintain. Parts are easier to find, and the modular design means mechanics are already familiar with them. For the money, it's one of the best performance bargains BMW has ever offered. Cars with the S58, M3, M4, X3, M, X4, M are premium M models. That means higher purchase price, higher insurance, and higher maintenance costs. Tuning is also more expensive. Nothing about an M car comes cheap. So, the real question becomes, do you want 80% of the performance for 50% of the cost? Or do you want BMW's absolute best, knowing you'll pay the premium for it? So, which engine truly wins? The B58 or the S58? If you want the perfect balance of power, reliability, affordability, and tunability, the B58 is the smarter choice. It's proven, it's reliable, and it delivers more than enough power for most drivers. But if you want the ultimate BMW experience, the bleeding edge of performance, track-ready engineering, and the highest tuning ceiling, the S58 takes the crown. At the end of the day, both engines prove one thing. BMW is still the master of the Inline-Six. So, which one would you pick? The reliable workhorse B58 or the high-strung beast S58? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you've owned either of these engines, share your story. This is VeHistory, where we bring the past, present, and future of automotive legends to life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because engines may come and go, but the stories, they last forever.